Are you planning to come to South Korea as a student? Well, in this video, I would like to give you 5 shocking cultures that I experienced myself as an international student in South Korea. If you're first coming here, welcome to my channel. Hi everyone, my name is Maro and I'm a PhD candidate at Pohang University of Science and Technology. I came here 2020 with a Global Korea Scholarship. I'm invited to pursue my study here, which is my PhD, by the Korean government. During these 3 years of studying, I found myself having difficulties to adapt with some of the cultures, and that's why today I would like to pointing out 5 shocking cultures that I think it would help you to better prepare when you would like to come here in South Korea as a student. Without further ado, let's just jump to every point. The first one is the language barriers. Despite Korea is a developed country, but I think you have to bear in mind that not everyone comfortable in speaking in English. It's either of 2 reasons. The first one because they genuinely having lack of ability to speak in English, or the second one because they are falling into the status of the Korean cultures and norms, which is they are reserved. If you encounter the first reason, which is like the person is not having a sufficient or like lack of ability to speak in English, I think you have to be the one who make an effort. You are coming here, which means that you would like to communicate with people, with local, and the only thing that you should do if the person doesn't speak English well is you have to learn their language. The only thing is like you have to motivate yourself to be able to be motivated enough to study Korean, because Korean is not that easy language according to what I'm learning. I'm going into my 4th year here, but speaking Korean is like one of another level, and I could compare that with the moment when I lived in Poland, which is like I speak Polish and it's not really as hard as when I'm communicating in Korean, because like in Korea you have to recognize the pronunciation, because different pronunciation might be having different meaning, and also like the same pronunciation might lead you to different misunderstanding. My suggestion is that if you meet a person and if you would like to communicate with your classmates or lab mates and they don't know how to speak English properly, I think the very beginning is that you started to learn Korean. So by this, you just show the effort, and then I think eventually you will be able to communicate with them in Korean language. And if the reason is that people here in South Korea tend to be really reserved, so they don't want to initiate the communication. This is, I think, because of from the early childhood or like early age of the education in South Korea, people are meant to think themselves as like the perfectionism. So everyone is competing to everyone, and like the best one is the one that is perfect, so they avoiding mistakes. So the thing is, if they do want to speak English, they want it to speak it really clearly and without any grammar mistake, without any pronunciation mistake. So basically they want it to be perfect. But even the natives sometimes not speaking it really perfectly English, right? They don't care about the grammar, they don't care about the like punctuation or something. As long as the other person is understanding, and like the the message that you would like to convey through the communication that you already done is already delivered, so that's it. You don't really care about the like the grammar mistakes and so on, so on. As long as the meaning is still the same, you can go with that. But I don't think it happens in the majority of Korean, because they would like to be seen as like not making any mistake at all. So if they want to speak English, I think they wanted to speak it perfectly. In this situation, I think you just need to be like the one who initiate approaching them. If you know a bit about Korean, just simply how to say 안녕하세요 or like 감사합니다 and so on, and just like like my name is what in Korean, and then I think that's the opening gate for you to communicate with either your classmates, lab mates, or like the people that you want to connect to. Once you build the trust of them to be able to speak with you, like to open the gate, I think that's the moment when they tend to open up with their skill. But of course, like not everyone are reserved. Like some people are just being extroverted, like they just go to you and then initiate their English, and that's really lucky of you to have that people, because it's easier for you to just like communicate in English. But still again, I think you need to make an effort. You have to initiate, or like a bit polishing your language with Korean, and then after that they will trust you, and then they will open up and they will communicate with you. So the language barriers is a bit a problem here in South Korea, maybe just because they don't have sufficient English ability, or second one maybe just reserved, so you have to initiate that. Second point is actually the cultures of hierarchical status. So in South Korea, that is really important if you know a person's age or the person's status. So for example, if you are talking with older people, maybe like 1 or 2 years older than you, so you have to respect them in a way that really different with the person that have the same age. So here in South Korea, age is really important, and it's not sensitive, you know, like in a way that you can ask people about their age. And actually that's the mandatory thing. So the very beginning that you meet people, one of the top 3 questions they will ask you is like, how old are you? It's not being mean, like they wanted to know how old are you, in a way that, okay, so you're old enough to be my friend or not. It's not that way, but I think because of the culture and the norms here in South Korea force them to see and respect the older people. So the age is really matter. So, and also the second one, if you are coming to your class or your laboratory, you have to know the status of seniority. So the more senior the person, I think the more you have to respect them. You know, the culture of bowing here in South Korea is really important as well, right? So the higher seniority that the person holds, I think you have to bow a bit lower. And yeah, you have to show respect. You are the junior, and then like you talk to them in the same way like when you treat the older people than you. But what I found here is like in a formal setting, in your class, in your lab, the seniority is like important, but then after that, if you go to the non-formal situations, the age is taking off for that. So when you hanging out with people from your labs or from your class, I think if it is informal situation, you have to back again that the age is really important. My suggestion is that at the very beginning, when you're coming to South Korea and then you found interaction with your classmate or lab mates, I think you should know their age and also their seniority level, like how old are they in that class, or how old are they in that lab, so you know how to act. The third one, and this is really hitting me to home, because I felt like this point is really important for you to get to know yourself and like how capable are you to be a student here in South Korea. It is a work and academic pressure. It's really real here. Like when I compare myself with working when I was here, when I was in Poland, like the work is really balanced, you know, like your life work and also like your personal work is like really balanced. But here in South Korea, I don't think at all it's balanced. People tend to study really long, like they came to lab or library from 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning, and then they were coming back in the midnight, or even like 1 or 2 in the early morning, and they study really hard. And I think the pressure here as a student is really real for me. I got stressed and I got a bit depressed, and I went to some professional to talk about my problems and like why am I not adapting myself into the situation. But then again, it's already like the system and the cultures in South Korea that people see you as hard worker. That's why maybe a lot of people got into the suicidal thought as well. As you may know, that South Korea is like one of, if it is not the highest rate of suicidal amongst the students. And I don't doubt that, because I have myself an experience to be under pressure. So the fourth point I would like to deliver today is the social drinking culture. Every professors in South Korea, they have the budget to go out and eating together with their students. And that's the moment when they wanted to know more into the person of each student. During the week, perhaps they know you as a student professionally, but then like during the drinking culture, like they will take you out with the other lab mates or like classmates and eating, drinking and so on. So I think that's when they ask you about how is your life? Do you have any girlfriend? Do you have any boyfriends? Or like, are you single? When are you going to be married? And so on, so on. I think it's like normal questions here, and like everyone would like to know that, because I think South Korean has a tendency to be close to you when they know your personal information. So I guess for me, like I have the situation where I don't want people to know then when I don't answer that, it seems to be, when I refuse to answer, it's like it sounded a bit rude here, but then I don't really put that into account. Like, you know, like if I don't want to answer that, I don't answer. And I think most of people don't appreciate that because they want to know you more, and then like if you don't say anything personal, then people will not think that you are open to be vulnerable to them. Okay, so that's the fourth one, and I think the last one I would like to say to you is that in Korea they have the homogeneous society, which everyone tends to be a group and then share the similarity of them amongst them. So if you're not sharing the similarity, you're not part of the homogeneous society. For me, by default, like I'm already not homogeneous. The culture I don't understand, and sometimes I felt like I think discriminatory is like a bit hard word, but what I would like to say is that I tend to be like more sensitive into the isolation mood. Like I felt like people isolating me, or maybe like I'm just isolating myself, because first, like I don't want to be burdened with, you know, like having the same thought with people. If I don't agree with people, then I just express it, but that doesn't work here in South Korea. So like you have to be able to say like, okay, so I don't agree with you, in a way that, hey, like I'm agree with you, so you have to find this but, and after that sentence makes them think like, okay, you're still in the same situation with us, but just there is some slight differentiation. But then for me, like I'm quite radically or like blatantly say to people, if I don't agree, then I don't agree, and not many people appreciate that. I think that pretty much everything. So if I would like to wrap up, I think you should be really ready, and then mentally and physically, because like if you're mentally tired, then your physic will be tired, and when you're physically tired, then your mental will be sometimes stressed and depressed, or like you're isolating yourself. Like for me, at some point I was having the social anxiety, so I didn't want to meet people, and I just wanted to be like alone. Even like I just come to lab just to read, see, and go without saying anything to people. So I was basically a dead soul in a working body. I don't know how to say that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, and thank you for watching until this end, and don't forget to subscribe, because it's you know, like motivating me, and also like it's good for algorithm, so more video that I will be making to you, and then like, yeah, just for fun and getting to know each other. Thank you so much. Bye bye, and don't forget to leave the comment. See you.